What's up, America? I'm Danny T.
And I'm Mike. We're just asking questions.
Welcome to the Republican Rebuttal. So, Mike, I've heard a lot in my life about the tolerant left.
Yeah, right.
What happened to the tolerant left? Can you believe how the left is today compared to how they used to be?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, allegedly's right. Uh,
Where are we starting at? Way back in 1828?
1828.
Nice.
1828 is when the Democratic Party got their start. Now, they weren't the dominating party that they are today. Something known as the Whig Party was, and that lasted from 1834 to 1854. As soon as 1854 hit and the party was gone, the Republican Party got its start. Now, the Civil War happened from 1861 to 1865. When the war was over, a lot of the Union guys went to the Republican side, and a good number of the Confederates jumped over to the Democratic Party. Now, in 1870, there was a man named Hiram Revels. Uh, Hiram Revels was the first black man elected to Senate. He was from Mississippi, and he later moved to Ohio.
Wow.
Now, he wasn't the only one. During the same time, Joseph Rainey was the first black house was appointed to the first.
House of Representatives, yeah.
Yes, he was also an African American man. Now, even these two weren't the only ones. In fact, from 1870 to 1901, there was a total of 22 African Americans in seats,
Republicans, yeah.
all of which Republicans. Um,
No, is that 1901 when Jim Crow started?
no, Jim Crow started way back when. I actually don't have the date for the start of Jim Crow, um, but the KKK got their start shortly after the war,
1865?
1865.
Yeah.
Now, they did a lot against the civil rights movements. They like segregation. I think we all know who they are uh, by this time. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit because that's a lot of history to take in. We're gonna jump to the 50s with something known as the Southern Manifesto. Now, the Southern Manifesto happened in 56. What it was a document trying to change the ruling of the Supreme Court. There was a In 54 it was Brown versus the Board of Education. Now the Supreme Court determined that uh, it violated the 14th Amendment and the equal protection law that the 14th Amendment holds.
Yeah.
Now there were three main men uh, that had a big part in this document. The first one was Strom Thurmond. Uh,
Thurmond, yeah.
Now he wrote the rough draft to this letter. He then passed it to a man named William Fulbright, who kind of made it sound a little better instead of just a lunatic, racist rantings.
A
Now,
little more clean cut.
now Fulbright passed it to a man named Richard Russell. Now Richard Russell, he got the rough draft done, um, and he's the one that went to the court. And with the letter, there were, depending on how you look at it, there were 97 Democrats and four Republicans signatures on this.
Talk about outnumbered.
Yeah, talk about an
They
outnumbered.
kind of had the house filled.
Now, before I go through, I'd like to tell you real quick. So Strom, he was in the Senate from 1954 to 2003. That's 47 years, and he was a governor for 4 years prior to that.
Jeez.
William Fulbright was from Arkansas. He was in Senate from 1945 all the way to 1974. It's close to 30 years on him. And Richard Russell was in Senate from 1933 to 1971. It's about 40 years. He was also a governor for 2 years prior to
That should be illegal.
that. Richard Russell actually died while serving, and he fought till his last breath to stop uh, segregation from happening.
Yeah, all the human rights, yeah.
All the human rights, all that. Now, Richard Russell, he made the point that the Supreme Court made a mistake in the Brown versus Board of Education because it violated the 10th Amendment rights and states.
Did he get it reversed?
They did. They got it. So I mean, he was fighting, so it should be a state to state
Oh yeah,
decision,
for states' rights. Yeah.
and that happened, which is why in the North you still had people of color that were in government and able to walk around. I mean, I don't want to say freely, but more comfortably than they did
Yeah, but
in
definitely
places
not
like
in
the
the
South.
South. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I mean, history can be rough sometimes, especially when dealing with these kind of things. Now, jumping from this, we're going to jump into the 1960s with a man named George Wallace. Now, George Wallace was an Alabama governor. George Wallace is famous for standing at the doorway of the University of Arkansas to show his anti support of two black men being enrolled in the
Oh
university.
yeah, yeah,
He is also famous for his quote, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever.
yeah. The lockout. Yeah.
Martin Luther King said that George Wallace was a very dangerous man, in his opinion. And while we're talking about MLK,
Hmm.
uh, Democrats use him a lot as if he's like a voice for them. A lot of people don't know this, but MLK was not a Democrat. He wasn't a Republican either. He was an independent.
Hmm.
The only thing he really cared about was the word of God and to get social justice for his people. Um,
Well, and like you always said, judge a man by the content of his character, not the color of his skin, and that's fair. That's very fair.
it's very, very fair.
And the CIA tried to take him out at every corner and what have you.
I think that's one day do a show on that.
Yeah,
I would
that's a
love
whole
that.
nother
Yes.
topic.
Other people in the 60s that were getting their start were Robert Byrd, who Robert Byrd got his start in 1959, and he's another one. He was in office until he died in 2010, 51 years in office.
And a side note, he likes to say that he owns Larry Bird, the basketball player. That's like an inside joke amongst the elites. I don't know.
Now, something other people may not know too is Robert Byrd was admittedly in the KKK in the 40s.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Color me surprised.
It was almost the year 2000 when he showed his regret for being in there.
Oh, now he feels bad.
Now he feels bad. Now, in the 60s, there was also a conflict um, with the civil rights, and some people got very angry that JFK was not taking the what the other Democrats wanted.
He kind of wasn't a Democrat. He
Yeah,
was like the last good Democrat if there ever was one.
yes.
And I mean, he went off the wagon. He nobody liked him because he was so radical. He was trying to do good things, and he was a good guy, I believe.
I think he was too. I think he's the last good president we
Yeah,
really had, in a very long time.
yeah, in the Democratic sense.
Yes. Now, Strom Thurmond uh, and a handful of other Democrats left the Democratic Party and they sided with the Republicans in retaliation of Kennedy. I think this is one of the times where one of those fake party switches you hear about a lot happened.
Hmm.
Um, Looking from the 1800s to the 60s now, I feel like the Democrats have pretty much stayed on point with their movement
Yeah, they're
so far.
yeah,
So far,
they stick to what they know for sure.
they definitely do. Now, leaving the 60s and entering the 70s,
Oh, we get to do Vietnam now.
we get the hippies, where I thought this was going to be really hard my whole life. You hear about how nice hippies are and peace, love, and flowers, and smoke weed and listen to terrible music.
Well, that whole thing was a psyop.
I
Like the counterculture movement, and it was just like if you had a nice haircut, you were good to go. And then the hippies came in, and they just didn't like what they saw,
right,
because it's not what people were used to.
yeah. Now the hippie movement and peace and love and all that is great to hear about, and you know it is considered misinformation that they spit on troops. But what they can't say is misinformation is they did throw objects at the troops. They
I don't know why
did.
they say that. It's on
It
video.
is on video.
It's on video.
I think the point they try and say is that it's over exaggerated, but nonetheless, I think
I
it still happened.
highly unlikely, but yeah, okay.
The troops were met with getting things like blood thrown at them, amongst other things. They were called baby killers.
Hmm.
They were told not to uh, go anywhere that wasn't on the base in their uniforms for their own safety. Um, doesn't sound very peace and love and tolerant to me.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, practice what you preach, you know. They're not even trying at
right,
this point.
right. I understand not being for war, but I mean, you gotta support our troops. You know, they're giving their lives for our freedom.
Well, there's a lot of good men and women that died for our freedoms at to a point, even if the war was rigged and it was fake. I mean, whatever. Oh, that's a whole different story too, but you still gotta stick up for your guys, you know.
Well, now moving off the hippies, this is also when someone we all know, no matter what point in history you're from, in 1973 is when Joe Biden got his political start. Joe Biden was,
He says a lot of real nice things about African
oh
Americans.
yeah, coming up here. Now he was in office before his vice presidency all the way to 2009 from 1973. He made friends with people like Byrd, you know, people like Richard Russell, people like Fulbright. Those were his people. The racist,
Democrats,
yeah,
demon rats, as I
yeah.
like to call them.
Very pro segregation.
Birds
Uh,
of a feather flock together.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. With Robert Byrd. Now he got his start campaigning against. I mean, he really opposed racial integration. He was very anti-busing. He supported not using federal funds to be used for transporting kids outside of their school districts.
Yeah, he would do like districts. So he's like keep them in their districts wherever they are, they stay there. We don't want them integrating with us, you know.
Now, for those of you that don't know, the point of busing back in the day was to get kids from poor neighborhoods to get to go to better schools and hopefully help their education out.
And Joe Biden said no way.
Joe Biden said no. In fact, the 70s turned into the 80s. He did a lot of the same of that. And then jumping in the 90s is when he really was amped up. And
Double down, triple
he,
down.
he quadrupled
He's
down.
like, you know what I'm talking about, man. You gotta keep them kids out of here. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, it was
you
bad.
know. I wrote the bill. I wrote the
Yeah.
damn bill.
He once Biden got a hold of the crime bill, he really pushed it very, very hard, to the point where he even had Bill Clinton on board.
And Hillary Clinton was all over that
Right.
too. She said something like animals or jungle. Can't remember
No,
the
oh,
exact
that
part.
was Biden. That was Biden.
Well, she said
Oh,
it,
she
but
did. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. Yeah, if I've mentioned it before, if you haven't watched the Joe Biden 94 crime bill video,
he
please do and show your Democratic friends the same
yeah,
thing.
he dropped the hard R.
I
It's not
mean,
good.
oh, there's videos of him doing that. I mean, there's all he was a wild man.
Well, and they have a whole syndicate. Like, there's the Biden crime family, and they're so brash with what they do. They know they can get away with it. Nobody's gonna say anything to them. That just like the Pelosi's, and there's little crime syndicates of political families. The Clintons, for instance. Oh, there's Billy.
The Kiltons.
Yeah, the Clintons. I mean, I do not wish to cause harm to myself, and
Yeah,
I like being alive.
I'm a safe driver. I'm happy.
Yep, yep, yep. All that.
Uh, well, as I was saying, Joe
Sorry.
Biden pushed it hard. Bill Clinton made it happen, and because of that, we had some of the biggest mass incarcerations of African American and minorities.
Yeah, that's when it really became like a job, like that became a business, was locking people
Yeah,
up, and they had already incentivized the fathers not being in the homes, and then on top of that, in the '80s we had the crack epidemic, so they were lining everything up for business as usual.
yeah, yeah. It was just a money making scheme and
Hmm.
keep the people that are down and keep the powerful powerful, which is in my opinion what the Democratic Party is pretty good at.
No, that's the worst part about them is that they always say that they're for the minorities and they have their back, and if you vote for me, we'll help you guys along. And then they enact policies that just absolutely screw everybody over in that demographic, and it's not fair. You're lying.
Yeah. And that's one thing even Malcolm X was saying. He was saying if you are black, you should be voting for the party that is in your best interest, not just voting left or right because it's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
I think it's important
Well,
for all of
Democrats
us
are
to.
not in their best interest, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. It's rough. It's a rough one. Now, going from this, we jump into the Obama years.
Oh boy.
Oh boy is right.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh boy is right. So, in my opinion, I want to be careful how I do any of this here with um. In my opinion, now when Obama got his start, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret that my friends make fun of me for a lot. I voted for Obama. I was a Democrat.
I didn't.
I thought I was a Democrat throughout my teen years and all of that. And when I voted for Obama, it took me less than a year to turn into a Republican, and I have been a Republican ever since. I think a lot of what the Democratic Party did in the past against African Americans, uh, I think Obama, in my opinion, my personal opinion, I think he used a lot of race baiting and added to the division instead of, in my
Yeah,
opinion,
he doubled, tripled, quadrupled
yeah,
down. Yeah.
I thought that we were finally going to be in a place where we were going to be better as a nation, and instead it was just a lot of the same that the Democratic Party did, just opposite this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he ran off a good basis. He was hope and change, and he was a charismatic guy, and he was an up and coming politician. And then once he got in there, and I can't believe he got in twice. And it's not that I didn't like him. I didn't know much about it, and I didn't know about all the Democratic lies that they always sell.
Yeah,
So
that's a
everybody
thing too. He
everybody
just
had like rosy colored glasses, and they didn't see. And then he
yeah,
just did nothing.
right. On top of that, I mean, he was juggling seven wars around the world.
Yeah, ISIS starting ISIS, that's a whole thing.
There's a lot I can touch on. I want to touch more on him later on down the road.
Oh, he can
Definitely,
have his own
definitely.
episode.
Oh my God. I think a lot of these people really could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd run
it's
out of breath, dude.
yeah.
Bill Clinton alone.
Oh, Bill Clinton alone. Yeah. Now going from that, jumping into the 2000s back to Joe Biden was president. It's when the shutdowns happened and, the tolerant left, mask up or get arrested.
Oh, they
Uh,
radicalized. Yeah.
yeah, you got to get the shot. If you don't get the shot, you can't fly. Um, a lot of that, it's where a lot of uh, the extreme left versus right that we're seeing today. I think that seed was kind of planted during the shutdowns and all that.
Well, I don't get the idea of they're supposed to be the tolerant left and they want equality and they want equity and everything. But then if you don't agree with them, they go absolutely. I don't see our people, which I'm not picking sides, but I don't see our people walking around hitting people with a ski mask on. At least show your face if you're gonna do something. Walking around with ski masks on, hitting people with bike locks.
Well, now they turn around and say that like ICE wears
Oh
masks,
yeah,
but ICE wears masks because they were getting harassed at their homes for
isn't that ironic?
doing a job that's been around
Isn't that
for a very
ironic?
very long
How
time.
convenient.
How convenient.
Right.
Now after the shutdowns, the censoring started. I mean, there's a lot of people from like Steven Crowder, Adam Carolla. Tony Hinchcliffe,
The Charlie Kirk,
Charlie Kirk, Roseanne Barr. A lot of people got censored, taken off the air. You had to go and really go out of your way to find these people if you wanted to listen to what they had to say.
which is nonsense in America. It's literally the First Amendment. I mean,
Well,
I try to be nice,
yeah,
but you should be allowed to say whatever you want.
you should be. You
They
should
they
be.
they
But I
want
also, in defense, I don't think it's really infringing on the First Amendment. Like they're not in jail. They didn't get arrested. They still have their tongues in their mouth. It's not like other countries.
well, no, it's private corporations and they have the
Yes.
right to do that. But because we have everything monopolized like that, that's where it comes into play. If people don't like what you say and you go on YouTube, well, YouTube's terms of service. If you want to use you want to use their company, then to get your word out there, well, they have the right to do that. But
Yes.
on the streets, I mean, you go and have a protest. Remember the peaceful protests?
Mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful
Yeah,
protests.
well, if we go out and protest for something that we want, whatever it may be, they'll come and shut you down. But then they want to have the right to go and have their mostly peaceful protest, and they burn down whole cities.
Yes. I've seen people like Charlie Kirk, like Steven Crowder when they go to these places, they get lunch boxes thrown at them. They get
Coffee, hot coffee,
hot
poisoning,
coffee. I've heard acid. Someone tried to throw
bleach,
acid, bleach,
bleach.
over an opinion, over just speaking your mind. Um, I don't think that's right. I think that's worse than getting censored is being attacked for your opinion.
Well, we
Much like that man, I think it was in Portland, where a man was just walking by one of these mostly peaceful protests or whatever, and he actually had his life taken away just for wearing a MAGA hat.
right, yeah.
You know,
Well, no, that's the whole thing. That's the best part about freedom of speech. We can disagree and we can still be friends. Now, what's wrong with the radical left or anybody that's over radicalized is that they can't talk. They get upset. They get their feelings in it. I can talk. I can disagree with you, and we can have a debate about it, fair, nice
yeah,
and fair, and then
or just a discussion. Doesn't even have to be a debate.
yeah,
You can
well,
just
the
listen.
debate's
Yeah,
more aggressive, but
yeah.
yeah. No, but and we can disagree and we can still be friends. Go, hey, well, you believe in this, I believe in this.
And I don't want to sound like we're paying. I don't think either me or Mike agree with far right radicalization
Oh
either.
no,
But you don't see them jumping around and
on
taking
average, no.
lives. Like,
Statistically,
statistically.
it's yeah.
Well, someone would agree with you, and that is bringing us to current times is Miss Ilhan Omar.
Oh yeah.
She says that the white man should be feared. She says a lot. She doesn't agree with.
She
Uh,
married her cousin or her brother.
I believe it's her brother.
Yeah, it's her brother.
Allegedly, allegedly.
To get green card status.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What the white man's made. Okay.
But we're bad.
Okay.
Um, I think it's funny that she claims how backwards we are here and how things aren't fair and everything is based off race.
They make it about race.
Yes. Well, uh, the other man that was running for mayor, his name was Omar also. Uh, it was Omar Fatah.
Oh yeah.
And when he lost, she went on and was saying it was based on skin color or religion or but then
People
we
voted for him. They
oh
didn't like his policies,
w
and they didn't. It's not has nothing to do with the color of your
later
skin.
we find out that there is actually different Somalian tribes that live over there.
And didn't like him.
Well, they argue amongst each other over their tribes. So because he was in a different or clan, because he was in a different clan than they were, they refused to vote for him.
That's weird. And
So
it's not even about
it's
skin
not
color.
even about skin color. It's about just
I did not know
politics
that.
that they bring over from their
From their
countries respectfully. Like
yeah,
yeah.
their country of origin. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that one.
Oh
That's
yeah,
fascinating.
I found that out the other day. And
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Well, that makes more sense then.
it does.
But then she's gonna say, "Oh, well,
She hasn't backed down on her stance of why. Yeah, why that happened.
I didn't marry my brother."
I
So no,
I don't think that's okay here. I don't know if it's okay over there.
I,
I don't know.
actually, I think you're right.
Oh man. But then it brings us to things like Charlie Kirk getting his life taken on air, and then you see the left cheering it on. uh, which is weird because I think a lot of us, I don't agree 100% with Charlie Kirk. You were saying you don't either, but
Yeah. Well, imagine if it was in reverse and it was one of their people, and they would be freaking out, and they would be saying, "Oh, you
yeah,
can't say these horrible things about a man who died," but they're
yeah,
laughing. I think these people are like I just for terms sake, I think they're like demons. Like they
yeah,
enjoy this and they laugh about it and it's funny. But I mean, whether you agree with Charlie Kirk or not, I mean, it's sad that he got killed over, and he was pretty fair, and he
it really
changed
was.
people's minds too. But he has two little kids that don't have a dad anymore,
Hmm.
and that's really sad.
I think the worst part is the slander, like all the things they say that he never actually did. I mean,
Yeah,
there is,
no, there's
I'd
no
like to say
facts.
thousands and thousands of hours of videos of this man
They
that you can
said
go over.
they
And
said that he was anti-trans and that's why the trans person
uh,
allegedly shot him, and then he was talking about guns and then he got shot. Whatever. I mean, it's just nonsense. It's unfair.
I don't think there's any way to justify taking someone's life,
Any life, yeah,
any
let
life.
alone a father, and he was a pretty
Yeah.
nice guy. I mean, he didn't hurt nobody.
Sometimes I even have a hard time with corporal punishment, even though,
Oh yeah,
it's like by paper, this is the punishment that they deserve, but it's as a human being, it's hard,
yeah.
even no matter how bad this person is, to wish that. That's pretty, death is pretty final.
No, yeah, well, death is bad at anything, I don't want nobody to die. I don't want to kill anybody, unless it was the last stand. It was the last possible choice that happened, and that would be to protect my family or my friends or what have you, or myself. Yeah, so that's the same one. R.I.P. Charlie.
Yeah. Well, next time someone asks you whatever happened to tolerant left, maybe I gave you some ammo to fire back at them through the decades from the 1800s to today.
Can we just call him the not so tolerant
The
left?
not so tolerant
Because
left.
that would make more sense.
The some are tolerant left.
Yeah.
I do have a couple Democratic friends I do enjoy talking to,
Oh, God
but
bless
not
them.
very many anymore.
I call them demon rats. Um, this occasionally tolerant left.
the occasionally tolerant makes a lot of sense.
I'll be
Yeah.
fair with that,
Yes.
depending on the situation.
uh, well,
What else you got, Danny?
that's about it, man. Is there anything you want to add to this?
Uh, lots of things. Frankly, lots of
Let's
things,
go.
lots of big things. But some of them they need dedicated sections for. So
Yeah,
I mean, there's a couple of things that we started to touch into, but I'm definitely gonna. I got some deep dives I want to do. Definitely, definitely.
definitely.
So I don't know if unless you got something else, Dan.
That's about it, man. This is my show. I hope you like the things we talk about here. If you do, give the channel a like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you later, America.
God bless America.